If by some chance, some stroke of luck, or some act of God, you have stumbled upon this broadcast, you are listening to The Chivalry Chronicles with your host, Dr. DLH.
I'm a damn doctor.
David.
We're going to bring the tea.
refuse
To not drink during the podcast.
Yeah.
And me, Jaime.
They need to make podcast equipment a lot more expensive to get some of these clowns off the air.
Gather around as we discuss a modern, manly approach to chivalry. So I hope you're ready, because I know we are. So let's get into it.
All right.
Hold on, I gotta get the bottle open.
Oh, come on. 3, 2, 1. All right. There you go. And we're back from the friendly confines of the Chivalry Studios.
From my pint to yours.
Is this a pint?
Yeah,
Yes,
that's
sir.
what it is.
I have a liter.
You know, we're sitting there. Oh, hold on, man.
Man,
Yeah. Look at that.
look
Look at those waves, you know, just.
Oh,
Crash.
man.
Isn't that great?
Summer
Feels
breeze makes me feel.
The mist from the ocean.
It's so good, man. It's so good. The clear water, the white sand, powdery sand. Yeah,
Where
okay.
are
I'm going to go
we?
to sleep. I'm going to go to sleep. Okay, let's go.
I was like, where are we right now?
Santa Rosa Beach in Florida. So today we're going to talk about vacation. I know summer's wrapping up, and you know, most of the time people go on vacation in the summer. I know we did. DLH, what's the last vacation you had?
Florida. I went
Where
to Florida.
exactly?
I went to Fort Lauderdale in June.
Nice. Oh, but that was your graduation, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was my graduation, but we extended that a little so that we had beach time.
Nice.
So it was both graduation and vacation.
Okay, and then David, where'd you go? Costa Rica or something?
I went to Spain.
Spain. Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
That's close though.
It's along the way. So I know that David travels all the damn time because he's like, I'm gonna be out of town. Do you have like? I know. Okay, personally, I don't plan a damn thing. I'm a passenger princess when it comes to planning. Now I know I got shit about this at our poker tournament that we drove to Destin, which is or Santa Rosa Beach, which is right now, which is 13 hours from San Antonio. He's like, why'd you drive? And I was like, cause it's expensive to fly. He's like, man, you should just pay it. And I was like, no, I'm good. How did you drive 13 hours? But anyway, for you, like I know you plan everything, but is there certain routine that you have when you plan a trip? I mean, what do you look at? When do you go? Like, what are like? Do you look at rates and stuff like that?
Yeah, I mean, price does come into play for sure, but I really hone in on the time frame. I like to go on spring break and leverage that as a good time for me work wise, as far in terms of my son having that at least a full week off,
Right.
But turn that into a bigger vacation. So whenever it comes to planning, I kind of essentially throw some places in mind, and then I start researching the different angles that come with it. So if I was to fly there, how much travel time is it going to eat up?
Right.
Because that's going to eat away at some of that vacation time, right? If I do fly, what is the cost there versus if I choose this other destination, that type of stuff. And then ultimately, once I hone in on one, then I just start really looking at where should we go, that type of stuff. And then what I've learned over the years is not to like oversaturate having an oversaturated agenda, because the most memorable things that I can recall on just about every vacation that I've been on, even as a child, it's the impromptu stuff that just kind of happens organically.
Yeah, man, the go with the flow.
Yeah, the go with the flow. So I fall into the go with the flow things. The vacations that I enjoyed the least, even though I did like them, are the ones that have like all these itineraries. You got to do this. I like going on cruises, for example, and I've been on cruises and I'm open to doing them in the future.
Right.
But I don't like all the you're either choosing to eat at 6 or you're choosing to eat at 8. You're going to do this at this time. They're going to have this show at this time. And then you got to just kind of either choose to take part of it.
Yeah.
And you miss out on things that you want to. You don't get to explore the destinations that you're stopping at because you're there only from 8 to 5.
Yeah.
So knowing that for at least the last 2 years, I've kind of started pivoting away from, okay, it's got to have a lot of agenda items built in. Instead, I choose like one big theme for the day and ensure that we do that one theme or that one destination spot at that city or town.
Yeah.
And then kind of go with the flow after that. And I like that a lot more.
Now, since you're somebody who travels a lot, you do all this research, what have you found are the best tools for that?
I definitely like looking at Google Flights and choosing the Explore tab. So whenever you choose the Explore tab on Google Flights, you can just put in like a month. And the more flexible you can be with travel, the better the deal you're going to get.
I've never even heard of Google Flights.
Yeah,
Me
so
neither.
no,
I don't fly,
it's really awesome in the sense that you can choose a destination, and you can do this also with, boy, it's going to come to it's an app, son of a gun, Kayak.
Oh yeah.
So Kayak has an explore destination.
Yeah.
And if you can do like a last minute travel, a lot of this has to do with if your time frames are really flexible, you're going to get the biggest bang for your buck. So like with Google Flights, you can say, hey, I want to travel in March or I want to travel in June. And here in San Antonio, where's the best deals for flights? And you can view it from a global standpoint. So you can see all the different destinations and be able to view on this world map. Okay, if I flew from here to Spain, it's $500 round trip versus if I flew to Mexico, it's $800, which that's usually the opposite, right? But those are some really handy tools that I leverage. The AI stuff has really helped in that. It gives you some really solid ideas, and then you can kind of click the links within that AI tool to explore it further and determine if it's a route you want to do or not.
What's like a ballpark flight cost round trip per person? Like, what can I expect?
Domestically?
From here to like, let's say Nashville or let's say Destin, just as a comparison.
Yeah, so you're probably looking at something like per person $300 to $350
round trip,
which
is what because I looked it up like, I don't know, 3 or 4 years ago. And so that's what I was saying at the poker tournament. I was like, I'd be spending for 4 of us, like anywhere between 12 to 15, It's like, well, it's the time. And I get that. I mean, it's a 13-hour drive. We do it nonstop. I mean, we stop for gas and stuff like that, but we don't stop for longer than 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And I don't mind driving. I actually like driving.
Yeah, I do too.
And there's certain things that I do. Well, they were asking me, well, did you let your son drive? I was like, nope. What about your wife? Nope. We leave here at 4 or 5 a.m. and get there at 5 o'clock or whatever, depending on traffic and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But I was like, we lose. That's 13 hours, so you lose pretty much a whole day. I go, but flights, you're spending, let's say, 12 to 15, and you're probably going to save some time, 6 to 8 hours maybe, because you got to get there 2 hours before the flight. Mm-hmm. And then you have to, then you take the flight. It's probably a 3-hour flight to Florida, I assume. And maybe if you don't go to Atlanta, because one year we flew to Orlando and they took us to Atlanta, then to Orlando.
Yeah. So, a lot of it has to do with, is it going to be a direct flight? Because to me, there is a cost benefit when you look at it. So if you knew you could get a direct flight from San Antonio to Destin, which you can't, but can't. If you could, maybe it makes more sense. Because now it's you're what is it? You said 12 hours?
Yeah, 13
so
hours.
Your 13-hour now becomes essentially you save 10 hours. That's 10 hours of doing.
Well, I don't know about 10 hours.
Well, if there was a flight that went directly from San Antonio to Destin, it'd be 2 hours.
I know, but you have to get there an hour before, right? Or an hour and a half before the flight to the airport.
I arrive on a domestic flight. I will arrive 15 minutes before.
But like I said,
Damn.
but
or before boarding. Let me rephrase that.
And you have the pre-check though, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying though. Like we talked about before, you could drive with your feet, but it's not advisable. So to prepare, you'd have to get there an hour. Let's just say anytime I've flown, I've gotten there an hour before. So you get there an hour before, you take your flight. Let's say it's 2 to 3 hours, and then it's another an hour to get all your shit and get a car and all that.
Well, let's say you say that you're still saving at least 8 hours
8
minimum.
hours, yeah.
And 8 hours, you can do a lot with those 8 hours.
But I could also argue that when you are not amongst a bunch of strangers in a plane and only amongst your family within a vehicle,
Yeah.
there's a lot that can be.
Yeah, because the other thing I was
Memorable
saying,
and
I was like,
accomplished.
well, then now because we take, stuff to eat during the day, like at the beach. We take stuff to make breakfast with. So now I'm buying all that shit when I get there. Beer or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't take all that stuff on the flight. So I haven't done the numbers, but until I do that, then you can convince me.
No,
because I'm a numbers guy, right?
Yeah, and I'm telling you, if you really start taking like a deep dive. So the general rule of thumb for me, because I prefer driving, by the way. Okay, just a personal preference. If I could drive there, I love it. If time was unlimited,
I want my own vehicle with me.
Yeah, if time's unlimited, I'm gonna choose.
Yeah,
I'll drive. Right, I like that. I like being able to pull over. I like the impromptu. Hey, what the hell's that? Let's pull over and take a look.
That too. Yeah,
that kind of deal. But whenever you look at time and what you're trying to accomplish, and you start looking into the price, to me, the general rule of thumb is if you're traveling by yourself, it's probably better for you to go the route of vehicle.
Oh, absolutely.
If you're traveling with a group, I'm sorry. No. If you're traveling by yourself,
it's flight.
Yeah. And if you're traveling with multiple people, that's whenever vehicle.
And that was the thing, right? Yeah. You're spending an extra, well, not an extra 15 because you spend on gas. I don't know, like I think I calculated somewhere around
$200.
Yeah, I'd say $4, something like that.
Yeah,
something
probably
like that.
Two
round
trips.
trip.
Yeah, round each way.
So you're saving a shitload of money, though. You know what I'm saying? So the way I thought about it is like, well, I'm taking all that money and spending it when we're there. Like we're gonna go to a nice restaurant.
Yeah, but you also ate up sometimes. So it's almost like, and we've talked about this in previous episodes. It's almost like choosing to either mow your lawn by yourself, or paying somebody to do it. Like, is my time better spent in the enjoyment of the additional vacation time, or is and driving, by the way, could be part of that vacation time.
Well,
and maybe everybody enjoys it.
Yeah, the whole point is being together.
Yeah,
and I think that's for mine. I mean, my kids were asleep. My wife was asleep. Half to drive.
Yeah.
So and we've flown, and when we flew, oh my God, it was so hectic. Partly because my son was 2, and it was just like, oh my God. Either way, it was going to be hectic, right?
Yeah.
But my wife was crying. My kids were crying. It was just like, it was crazy. And then we didn't buy an extra ticket for my son because, he was 2.
Yeah.
And I held him the whole freaking 3-hour flight. And, it sucks because you go in there and you almost preemptively apologize. I'm sorry, this is going to get hairy. Somewhere within an hour into this kid is going to lose it. And would it have been less stressful driving, but there's no way we would have drove with the 2, because we tried doing that with our daughter going to Dallas, which is a 4-hour drive. And we pulled over so many times because she just was not having it. So I get that, but it's just, man, plus you start paying like adult prices, right? You can't have a kid flight, sir, she's 23.
Like, don't even have that seat. Yeah. We can shove them both there, both in one.
So DLH, do you mostly drive, fly? Do you got that doctor money to where you can just charter a flight.
Hey, the only reason Jaime doesn't want to pay for the flight is because he's spending on them $2,000 plus TVs.
That's right.
And
On
stuff
all
like
the
that.
TVs and stuff.
That was in 2002, sir.
No,
I know. Whenever 2000 was more like 6,000 in today's dollars.
I didn't have a lot of debt.
No, most of the time when we travel, we fly.
Ooh, that doctor money.
No, definitely not the doctor money. I ain't got no doctor money.
You ain't got no legs, Lieutenant Dan.
You got that fitness professional money, though.
I know.
Which is not a lot.
Fit and fabulous.
Now, I'm with y'all. I prefer to drive.
Yeah.
My wife, though, doesn't like that at all.
Really?
So she prefers to fly. And every time we're going to talk about any trip anywhere, I'm always like, let's just drive. I'll drive.
Yeah.
And then she says, I hate driving. I'm like, well, you're not driving. I'm driving.
Correction, ma'am.
and I always try
And
all
I'm going to
that,
get that TV.
all of that stuff. And then she, ultimately makes her point, whatever. She wants to fly. So, but she's also the one who does all of the research, finds all of the stuff.
Yeah, and,
Right.
and
She's
San
the-
Antonio
she's the
to
planner.
Fort Lauderdale, by the way, like I know you can secure direct flights, and usually you're spending about $200 a person.
Yeah,
$200 to $250.
And then if you're crafty with like credit cards and points and things
Yeah,
like that,
yeah,
and you get those
absolutely.
things covered. She, because she travels for other things too, for work, for sorority, for like all the things that she does. So she's the one who does all of that stuff. I'm very much the one who kind of goes with the flow, right? And like if I'm going to travel somewhere, it's very rare that I'm traveling for work at all, at least for the time being. So when I'm traveling somewhere, I'm pretty much like go with the flow. And she is more an itinerary
Yep.
type person.
Yeah, that's my wife. She's more. She sets everything. I know when we went to Orlando, we flew and she set the whole itinerary for every day. I think they were doing the fast pass then, to where we'd pick the 2 rides that we wanted to do in the morning and 2 rides in the afternoon. So we just walk up there, and then we do whatever between those. But you didn't have to stand in line.
I tell you, I'm difficult in vacation mode. I don't know about y'all, but when because the itinerary, being opposite, right? And when she starts telling, this day we have this day we have this, and I'm like, hold on, focus on one day at a time, and just tell me what I'm doing. That's all I want to know. All I need to know is what am I responsible for?
Yeah, it makes it really hard. Well, for me, when you have an itinerary. So a couple years ago, we went to Peru. When we went to Peru, I didn't know anything I didn't know much about the country or anything like that, just that I really wanted to go. And I thought, okay, since I don't know any person that has been there before that I can tap into and ask questions, I guess I'll go with like a travel agency. So I tapped into this travel agency. They set us up, but every day had like, it wasn't even like an itinerary that we built. It was like, okay, you're going to go here for 2 days, and there's this one excursion kind of thing that you're going to do, but then you need to wake up because we're flying to this other part of the country. And so what I ended up finding out or discovering during that trip, it's like, okay, now it's evening. It's about 8:00 in the evening. Isaiah and I got to go to bed because the next morning we got to be up at 2 because the bus is going to pick us up at around 2:30, and then they're going to take us to this other destination. And then it's just like hop, hop, hop. Like you never just got to see something and say, you know what, this is really cool. I know I'm only supposed to be here for 2 hours, but I want to stick around and hang out. And instead you're just worried about, I'm going to have a hard time waking up if I don't go to bed now. And Isaiah and I struggled every freaking morning, or not every morning, but every time there was a shift in the destination that we were going to, because it was all these logistics that the travel agency had put together that weren't, for Isaiah and I, practical. Yeah. And so I kind of felt a little bit robbed of my time and stuff like that. And then you're waiting on other people at times. That bus that's picking up, it's not just you. They're picking up a couple other people along the way. So they're baking in on their side another 45 minutes to an hour for that. Where if it was just me saying, okay, I'm going to schedule a taxi from here to here and blah, blah, blah. I'm going to schedule a flight from here to the other side of the country and spend more time doing that stuff.
Now, Jaime, you said you like the drive.
Yes.
Is it just the driving itself, or what is it about the drive?
To me, it's soothing. It's calm. Like especially if it's a long trip. I mean, I'm used to it. When we were kids, my dad, we lived in Dallas, and we would visit Mexico right on the border, the other side of Del Rio, which is Acuna, and it's an 8-hour drive. And my dad was the old school. We ain't stopping. We're gonna get gas somewhere, but we're going straight there. We're leaving right now, and we're going there. And when you're kids, you don't understand that, right? You're like, man, I'm getting a little hungry, dog. Like, yeah. And my mom was like, y'all hungry? Okay. She started making sandwiches in the front seat and then start tossing them back. My uncles, whenever we went, caravan, ooh, say, don't tell Trump. But we did caravan to Mexico. Like, he would love stopping at, like McDonald's and all this stuff. We're like, man, this is awesome.
Luxury.
Yeah, this is a luxury. But I guess you get used to it, and then you just kind of 8-hour drives were like, hey, that's just the way it is. And so in driving to Dallas, it's not a big deal. I drove to Tucson, which is the same 12, 13 hours, just the other way. I love everything about it. Like I'll stop to get gas, and then like they say, you become like that 13-year-old kid where you just grab whatever, like sunflower seeds and peanuts and a Dr. Pepper, and you just buy shit like just to kind of keep you kind of in the drive. Like I do sunflower seeds when kind of keeps you up, it makes you do something. And I love stopping at odd places, like odd gas stations that sell shit. I love sitting watching or looking at the stuff that sell, like those shot glasses that I have that are Knights. I got them somewhere in Florida. I was like, those are cool. I bought those. I just buy really a bunch of dumb shit, but it's just, to me, it's soothing. It's the drive.
That's why you can't fly, bro.
Yeah, I'd be flying them over. So, and we've flown.
Jet, otherwise.
Yeah, we've flown to Tucson, or actually it was Phoenix. We had to fly to Phoenix and then drive down. And the same thing with Orlando. I've flown to Chicago for work, but the experience is cool too. Like flying is fine. I'm not against it. To me, it's just like if we can drive, why am I going to spend an extra, $8,000 or $800, $900? It's like if it was just me and my wife, I would definitely just fly. So, now that my daughter just graduated, I'm gonna be like, so you're gonna pitch in for this vacation?
It's about that time.
Yeah, it's about that time.
Yeah. For a few years, pitch in, and then after that, so this vacation on you or what?
So it's to me that I like the experience. I like driving. I like having that unspoken race with the guy next to you, right? Where you pass him up, you're like, and then later you're like, God damn it, I thought I left that dude like 10 miles ago, and then he passes you up, and it's just kind of like,
especially the unscheduled stop. I gotta pee, and like, damn it, I just left all these people behind. They all gonna pass me up.
And then you're passing the same guy that was in the fast lane that didn't move over earlier. You're now having to overcome that bastard again.
But when you pass him, it's a sense of gratification, right? It's like, I got your ass.
Yeah, or the guy that's hauling ass. And, I'm more of I'll slide over. If I see a dude, just coming up on my rearview mirror, I'll slide over. Like, go ahead, bro. Like, if you're going, I usually go roughly like 10%.
Don't incriminate yourself.
10%. Catch me, mofo. About 10%, faster than the speed limit. You know what I'm saying? But if somebody's like coming up on my rear view, I'll slide over. Like, bro, go find them cops.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, you take them out the picture.
Yeah. But it's always, and I think everybody does it. To where you're like, that guy, I'm passing that guy because that guy's been trying to get ahead of me, and I let him over.
Or they got a stupid ass bumper sticker that you're freaking tired of seeing.
You let them over. You get over so they can get past you, and then they slow down. It's like, no, you were hauling ass behind me, riding my ass for 3 miles. I let you over, and now you want to go slow. Like, no, bro, go ahead. You know?
Yeah, that's right.
So all that, is kind of funny. One of my friends said that that they had driven up to, somewhere up north, Chicago, somewhere like that. And he said they were having this battle with this other driver that it was getting back to our other episode of,
Road rage.
Road rage, yeah. And he said, man, he goes, this guy went crazy, right? And he started kind of telling him, and that he sped up and just got over. And that dude and his freaking, craziness and trying to get around, he lost control and he just went down the median.
Yeah.
Luckily, it was like separated. There was that grass between.
Yeah.
And you just slid off into the grass. And then my buddy was like, oh, shit.
Bye.
Yeah. So, I mean, all that stuff is fun, Plus whenever you're with family, right? It's a lot of, you play all those games, the slug bug and, name this or, what are 3 movies you want to watch, or just basically nothing but podcast material.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say that one of the big memories I have is like driving to Montana. All these family vacations that we went to as a kid. It was usually like a 24-hour drive, 24 hours to get there. And I remember I didn't understand some of the road signs. So there's the do not pass with care, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I remember with my brother, here we are in the back. So my dad had a Ford Ranger.
Yeah.
And he bought a camper for it.
Yeah.
So the camper top just goes over the back. You're sitting in essentially a bed of a truck, which is totally illegal now. And they laid like a few blankets at the bottom so you could still feel the indentions. It wasn't like a comfortable situation. You're not really able to sit up fully. You're cramped and you're just in there. And we would see those signs, and I remember it would be like pass with care, and then I'd be, hey, brother, hey, give him a hug or something like that. And then as soon as it says do not pass, then I'd start hitting them and stuff like that. Beating the crap out of them. And then it'd be pass with care. Hey. And I would alternate with that. And then we would get away with that for a bit until we got too loud.
Yeah.
Like, I'm pretty sure my dad saw the chingasos going on in the background through the rearview mirror. But nothing would be said until it was like it just got loud and you
Until you had to make a pit stop.
yeah. And
Yeah,
then
there was 5 of us, so we were always, man. My dad didn't play at all.
See, but those are the things. Those are the memories, though, right? In a
Yeah.
drive, I think that you get the opportunity for more memories.
Yes,
On a drive. That's how I see it.
I know. On the way to Mexico, my dad, and at the time I didn't really realize it. He would take us by the mall here because of the giant cowboy boots. Mm-hmm. And I love cowboy boots, right? Worn them all my life. And so they'd wake us up. They're like, man, check them out. We're like, oh shit, the cowboy boots. And then we go back to sleep, right? Well, he would go out of his way, right? Because you just take 35 and you just go through downtown and continue going. You have to take 410, Loop 410 to go around to actually get to it. So it wasn't until I got here, I was like, oh, my dad actually went out of his way to kind of give us that little bit of, you're halfway there, right?
Yeah.
It's 4 hours.
That's North Star Mall
Yeah.
here in San Antonio,
Yes.
in case anybody's wondering.
Yeah. And it's a little bit out,
now, but like you were mentioning your kids earlier, and it's a kind of question to you. Are your kids get excited about like seeing some of the scenery? Because what I suspect, so growing up, you would see the scenery, but it's because there wasn't anything else to do in that car other than you're playing, like you can't really, there's not much to do back then. Right. You're identifying cars, doing that kind of stuff, but it can only entertain you for so long. Now they got entertainment on their hand. So like I know whenever I'm driving or whenever I've driven around with Isaiah, like he'll just be watching a video on his phone. I'm like, oh, look at that river, and he just looks up and acknowledges
Look
it.
at this huge
and then
bridge.
that's it. Hey, look at that, and there's not much that excites them, right? I'm wondering if your kids kind of like in that sense too, or is it
Yeah,
like, oh my god, that's an awesome gorge there? Let me
No, they're
Nothing
never
like
like that. But I do
have to point it out.
But I do try to guide them, right? So when we get into the car, we start taking a road trip, and I set up like there's no technology right now. You need to be aware of where we're going.
You need to be as bored as I am.
Exactly. All of that stuff. And then what winds up happening is when they're like, okay, but are we gonna stop at, Bucky's or whatever it is? And then I'm like, yes, we are. So all you got to do is make it to there. We'll get some snacks.
Yeah.
And that's what they get excited about. So
Yes.
then they'll create conversation about whatever is around us, whether it's games or conversation. They do that until we reach the snack place.
Mm-hmm.
Once we get to Bucky's or wherever it is, because there's other places other than Bucky's, right?
Is there?
Yeah, there are that have
Loves.
that have like good snacks or whatever it is. So we get those things, and then that buys me more time because as we're driving, they're having the snacks, and
Then
then
they have
as
to use the
we're
restroom again.
and then after we're having the snacks, so then this is always what winds up happening. We have the snacks, we're talking, everybody's laughing or whatever it is. After the snacks happen, they fall asleep.
Yeah.
And then there's a period of quiet where either the kids are asleep and I get to talk to Victoria, or maybe Victoria falls asleep, but my son doesn't, so I get to talk to him. And then maybe they fall asleep, but my daughter doesn't, and I get to talk to her. And then there's other times where they all fall asleep and I just get the road.
Yeah.
Right. And then inevitably when they wake up, they try to silently get on their video games and not alert me to them being awake. So that
Put
they
them
can
away.
just do their thing. And I'll let them get away with that for long enough. So if my son wakes up and everybody else is asleep, okay, play your games until everyone else is awake because we don't want to necessarily wake them up.
Yeah.
And then I'll just keep on driving.
he saw giving like his sister some sleeping pills and stuff so she could stay asleep.
But then as soon as everybody wakes up, we're right back to it. Turn all technology off, and we're all in this together.
Yeah, that doesn't work with us anymore. Kids are older. I was like, whatever. But here's something that I kind of, I don't know how I feel about it, but I'm going to tell you what happened, right? So my wife is like, listen to whatever you want to listen to. And sometimes I do. When they all fall asleep, I'll just put it on what I would listen to when it's just me in a car, right? But for the most part, I try to listen to stuff that everybody's cool with. Usually what my daughter and my wife, want to listen to. And I'm cool with it. But there's times when I'm listening to whatever I'm listening to, and then my son puts on his headphones. My daughter puts on her headphones, and then my wife too. And I'm like, oh, okay. So
Let me just-
So none of y'all like
I listen to y'all
You're
shit.
the sacrificial lamb over here.
I listen to y'all shit like, the past 3 hours. Y'all can't listen to like 2-3 songs of my shit. Like, and I didn't say anything, but I was like, man, it's some bullshit, right?
My son does that. He does that. And then I'm like, why can't you just tell me what you want to listen to? And
Yeah.
he's like, no, I'm good.
Well, that's it. You know what? I wonder though, because you said in between our before we started recording this that Letty wanted to hear the Chivalry Chronicles podcast.
She did.
And you said no.
Yeah, I was like,
He
nah,
said
I'm good.
no. So his wife was probably like, I'm going to listen to it. And Jaime's over there listening to his bullshit.
Well, here's why: because my phone was attached to the to the truck, and I mean, they already have my download. You know what I'm saying? Like it doesn't do us any good.
But
and
we did the best friend
Man.
episode. And
you were
she didn't-
you were disgusted.
We should-
by
You
us.
didn't want her to hear that she's
no, we should have done that one. Here's the other thing, like what y'all don't know, and what these two clowns don't know, is that by the time the episode actually gets released, I've already listened to it like 3 times. Because as I'm editing, like I'm just rewinding, taking stuff out, listening to it, and so it's like I've heard it.
What Jaime don't know is that's just payback.
That sounds like a Jaime problem.
Yeah, like we just finished dealing with his ass, so yeah, it's payback.
It's
It's
hard
hard
dealing
work.
with you.
It's hard work, man.
It's
It's hard
hard.
work.
It's hard dealing with Jaime.
Being this good. Here's the other thing that we do as a family, right? It happened more when they were younger, our kids. But to diffuse sort of an argument or something like that, we would say they're ruining vacation. Liana's ruining vacation right now because, and so we would vote someone who ruined vacation this time.
And we vote you off the island.
Yeah, she's doing it again.
Yeah.
Like Joaquin ruined our vacation, and it's something usually like it's not like it would like we're getting somewhere, and everybody after a road trip, everybody's tired. Everybody just wants to get into the hotel or whatever. And that's when the shit happens, right? That's when somebody just pops off a little bit. And we're like, and so just to kind of diffuse it, like, see, you're ruining it.
Yeah.
So
no beach for you, Lil.
yeah. So that's the other thing that we do is like we vote who ruined vacation. Everything was good up until this point right here.
That's
So
fun.
is there specific places that you go? Like my wife loves going to the beach, so consequently we always go to the beach. Joaquin and I would love to go to Colorado at one point and just kind of be in the snow.
I recommend that. I recommend you at least go.
Yeah. But I don't
Make it
even
a
want to
point.
do the snowboard and all that bullshit. I just want to be in the hot tub and looking at snow. That's all I want to do. And drinking
I've
beer.
experienced, and I don't like cold weather in general.
Yeah, my wife doesn't.
I've experienced it. You'd need to experience it and then make a determination afterwards because you may fall in love with it, and a lot of people do.
Yeah.
Even whenever it comes to, I think vacationing is a good platform to try things that you don't that put you a little bit out of your element because I think those are the ones that are going to stick best in your memory.
I love the cold
Yeah.
weather, but I think I might be the only one in my family.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think when we go, I don't know that we necessarily have like we always try to take a trip like somewhere, but I don't know that we necessarily have a particular like agenda or purpose to it. It winds up more organically happening, like I don't know, maybe we're going to take a trip somewhere, but it just so happens that both kids are talking about U.S. history and the founding of our nation or something like that. And we're going to take a trip to Philadelphia. Right?
Damn.
So, something like that. And then there was another time where like when we went to Chicago, Victoria had something going on with her sorority that was a pretty big deal for her. And then we wound up
Not for you?
Well, for her, because she's the one. Her sorority was in Chicago.
But that's your best friend. It should be a big deal for you too.
It was a big deal for all of us when we were included in the trip.
No, okay.
So anyway, we went over there. We spent the first couple days, celebrating her and that accomplishment there, and then we went after that sorority part was over. We stayed in Chicago and made it a family vacation. So that was cool.
Who ruined vacation that time?
Who ruined? I don't think anybody ruined vacation.
Ruining vacation is when you like just
But you know what? I think that's
Get in
going to
trouble,
I think that's
basically.
going to give me a new way to look at this. That's going to be hilarious to look at that, like from that perspective from now on. Which one of y'all made this the
bro. I'm
worst
telling you,
experience?
I don't remember what Liana did, but we pull up to that resort. Right, it was in Destin. We had gone to Destin that time, and I can't remember what Liana said, but my wife lost it. Right, and we're like, well, that's one vote for Liana.
I think when like so then after Chicago, my graduation this past June is what took us over to Florida. But we had been to Florida before, but my in-laws live there like years past, so it made it a no-brainer to go down there.
Yeah.
Now coming up, our next trip, which we've already planned or are planning, is for New York City. And I think that organically came up because my son was born in New York City.
Oh, okay.
He talks about that all the time, right? As like that being his, he always phrases it in a funny way, like that's my homeland, or
hell?
the motherland. He always says something.
You gotta go back.
Something odd.
Get his powers.
And that's what it is. So then he does that, and then because like we all love Hamilton, right? The Broadway musical,
Yeah.
and my daughter and I have been listening to it even recently because she just loves to listen to that. And when they talk about being in Manhattan, she's been there, but she was so young she doesn't remember it. And so now she's like, I really want to go and I want to see what it's like now that she's had it's been brought to her attention. So we haven't told them that yet, that we have planned this. So this is going to be kind of a surprise to both of them.
listen to this podcast.
Unless they listen, which they won't.
They won't.
Damn them.
They suck.
Maybe
I would make them sit it out
Yeah.
then. Like
Maybe
if
I
you
can
would have
let 'em-
listened, you would have.
I can get
We
them
need
to
those
listen
two
to you
listeners
after
We
that.
need these two listeners.
But anyway, that's where we'll be going next. And what are we doing when we get there? I don't know. My wife knows.
Yeah. No, my wife loves the beach, so we always go to the beach. Joaquin and I were like, hey, because my son is about to head off to college. My daughter just graduated from college, and she's kind of living about 2 hours away from us.
Which, by the way, congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. I did a lot of hard work, dog.
Yeah.
It was a lot of rough nights. No.
Yeah.
A lot of carrying on a plane.
And a lot
Yeah.
of tears.
And
Don't
a
lie.
lot of tears.
Don't lie.
No tears. Only
Don't
when
lie.
she graduated, I was like, yes, she gets off the roster. Thank you, Jesus. But the other thing I wanted to do, and we were talking about vacations, and I was talking. My dad used to take us. It wasn't really a vacation. It was we'd go see family, and we'd go back to kind of where we're from, right? Where we're all born, and where my dad. It's seeing family. So we never took a vacation, like say we're gonna go visit some place we've never been, and just kind of be there. No, we'd always go back and see family, and that's kind of weird. Like, I guess I didn't really take a vacation till I graduated from college and came here, like came to San Antonio, where we actually went somewhere to visit that place.
Yeah. My dad was opposite. So we always went on vacations, and we were always going to different spots. Always in the US, but in 1995, it was my dad, my brother, and I. We went to Puerto Rico. My dad had previously went to Puerto Rico whenever he was a senior in high school, or he had just graduated.
Puerto Rican.
And he went back, and we got our family over there. And so my dad reconnected with his family over there. But we went, in my dad's mind, he wanted to use it as like, yes, he wanted to see his family and reconnect with them because he hadn't seen them in 20 years essentially, or whatever. And we get over there, and the family over there is like, oh, let's go visit the so-and-so. Let's go visit Theo, blah, blah, blah. And we're getting introduced to nothing but family and spending time at their house.
Yeah.
And then my dad, I remember one of the nights he was like, next time we come to Puerto Rico, we're not telling any of them we're coming. And it wasn't that he was like against the family, but he wanted like, let's go
Do
horseback
something, yeah.
riding. Let's go to the beach. Let's go freaking
Actually
parasail.
vacation.
Yeah, because
yeah.
what the one thing that I tell people is what I consider a vacation is doing stuff. I don't really like doing. I don't like I can't just sit at the beach and relax.
Oh,
I'm
hell
not,
yeah.
I'm not a relax on vacation type of person.
Oh,
what
I
the
can
hell?
do it.
You're doing it wrong.
No,
You're doing it wrong.
No,
David is
I-
ruining vacation.
I can do it, but no, I like to. Oh, let's go do this.
You are doing stuff.
Let's
You're
go do that.
swimming.
But then you are an itinerary person.
It's not being on a
That's a
itinerary.
lazy
but
itinerary
it's
person.
doing stuff. It's doing stuff
No,
because
vacations you don't
some-
do nothing.
You don't do nothing.
no, some people will just like they'll plant at the beach for 6 hours or whatever.
Absolutely.
That's
yes.
No,
vacationing.
That's not
exactly
me.
what we did.
Me, it's like we'll go to the beach. Let's spend about 2 hours there, but then let's bounce and go explore
I mean,
this.
unless it's
Let's
6
go
to 8 hours
snorkeling.
on a beach
Let's
without
go
a drink in your
snorkeling.
hand, then I got to go find
Hey,
out why
dog,
is there not a drink
it
in
was
my hand.
it was nothing but day drinking.
That's
We'd get there at 10 a.m., leave at 5, and I drank all day.
Especially if you go to one of those places that's all inclusive. That's what I'm talking about right there.
Bro, I was floating on the water
That's it.
with a freaking beer, dog.
I'm gonna-
I was
I
on
wanna-
the sand the whole time. Didn't even realize he
Absolutely
didn't make
not.
it to the water.
I want to be on
Absolutely
the
not.
beach and have people bring me things. Bring me things.
Yeah, and
We've
see,
had that
I can
too,
do
yeah.
that, but I also I want to go. What is that over there in the distance? Let's go check it out. Boom.
That's a beach.
No, no.
What's over there?
no.
This is beach.
That's-
What over there?
it's-
Beach.
It's exactly what's right here. So I'm good.
I always want to be doing different things.
Yeah,
like
I can't
one
do that,
day
man.
with in Peru, I remember we did
Coke?
We started this route. I didn't want to sign up for
Damn.
what the travel agency had.
Peruvian Coke's the best. Dog. That's what I hear anyway.
That's why you don't get up off the beach, fool. But
Isn't
yeah,
that the name of a song by Immortal Technique?
It is Peruvian
is.
Coke. It is.
it's terrible. You're getting off subject.
Well, you're
Yeah, but like Isaiah and I, the travel agency had like visit some museum and walk around. That was what they had on the
Yeah,
agenda.
that's
and I
okay.
said, I basically was like, yeah, don't come pick us up. We're gonna set our own. We're gonna do our own thing. So I signed us up, and we went zip lining. And then right after the zip lining, this other van picked us up, and then we rode 4-wheelers.
Yeah.
And,
No, I mean,
and we're just. I like doing those different experiences. They're not like it's not work. It's
No, I get what you're saying, and we're making fun of you. But if I'm at a beach, I'm going to be at the beach.
Yeah.
Now we've gone to Tucson and we did the hiking. We visited. There's other like old city. It is basically the set where they do a bunch of westerns, and I was those are great because
Yeah.
that's what you do in Tucson or whatever. But if I'm at the beach, if I'm in Destin, I'm going to be
Beaching.
on the beach.
Yeah, and
we're going to
and
do
I can,
beach.
I
like
can
Barbie,
do that,
the
but
movie.
but I also I want to
do what?
just other stuff. There's
Well, I
other
mean,
stuff in the area.
I find validity in both. If you take a vacation
Of course,
somewhere,
here comes DLH. Is like, I agree with both of you.
well, yeah, but that's right. If you go someplace
specifically a beach.
to do things, right? So
Yeah.
when you go to Disney, for instance, you're
Yeah, you're not
just
sitting in a hotel. Yeah,
You're doing things.
Yes.
Well,
so
and
if you
that-
go someplace to do things, but then you sit there, well, then that's contrary to why you're there.
Yeah.
But if you go to the beach and you go to do things,
Yeah,
you're
you-
contrary to why you're there.
you go beach.
That's right.
well, I can do beach things, and I can do the 6 hour. But whenever I'm thinking of vacation, it can't. For me, I'm not going to put us there more than 4 hours. Like I'm going to think of where we can pivot from that beach. So, now I'm going to sign us up
I
so
mean,
we can
I
get on
guess
this.
I can
So we
see
can get on a boat now.
Dolphin watching and
No.
shit, fishing
No.
maybe.
Yeah,
I
no,
think-
it's
I think-
all that stuff.
No, I think
that's
if
what
you're-
it is.
I think if you're in a beach,
I'm not
day,
going to sit on the beach
only
and
thing
relax
you need to
for 6
consider
hours.
there, the
Absolutely.
only, maybe not relax.
Well, you need to do 8 hours.
the whole
That's
time
the problem.
because
You're not
it
there
should
long enough.
It's not long enough. And the only thing you should need to consider on a beach day is self care, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Like, let me reapply some of the sunscreen.
No, you're
and
putting
who
on
the
lotion.
hell's going to feed me? Bring me some food. And then
So here's the issue that I run into with vacations, right? Is I need, especially if we're really busy, I need about a day, to kind of decompress, like not worry about work. Because
Yeah.
when you leave, you're still kind of, I still
Wired,
get calls and stuff like that. And so, when you go on vacation, you kind of not want to think about that stuff.
Yeah.
And because our office isn't a huge office, I still have to answer some things, right? And so I know I call them the kids, right? Our young employees still called me. And then one day it got pretty ridiculous to where they're calling me almost every day. And I said, okay, guys. So when I got back to the office, I said, okay, guys, when I'm on vacation, I'm going to, respect your time off. So I don't call you when you're on vacation. And I know that sometimes you have to when it's like super emergencies. I go, but I need you to respect my time off. So ask all the questions before I leave. And if it's really, really shit hit the fan, okay.
Yeah, it makes sense. Yep.
But don't call me for every little damn thing.
Yeah.
One day it was just like I just left. I stopped by the office.
Should
and
I go get more water for the community?
Bro, this kid, and it's hard to blame them because they're young, right?
Yeah.
But I told them, like, you need to email these 3 people, here's all the plans and stuff like that. And this mofo called me and said, sir, do I send 3 emails or do I send 1 email? And I said, you know what, man? I said, I'm gonna leave you with that with that executive.
Figure it out.
Figure it out.
Figure it out.
He's like, I was like,
Yeah,
click.
you'll be just fine. Bye.
Yeah, I do have to disconnect from like work, and I get that from the relaxing standpoint. But relaxing to me on vacation is just doing stuff like engaging my mind in me in
Yeah.
things that I don't get to do on a normal basis because I don't
Absolutely.
have the time for it, or
Yeah.
maybe I don't
Yeah,
necessarily
museums,
have
that type
the
of
money
stuff.
for it.
Yeah, I get that.
to do it
And
on a regular basis.
I'm more go with the flow, right? As long as it's not like don't treat it like we're back at home and everything has to be.
We gotta
on
go,
a
go, go.
specific
We gotta
time.
leave right
Yeah.
now.
And when you're like that, like it's not vacation right now.
Yeah, it's not.
We're just in a different locale, right?
And that's what I can't do.
So
Yeah,
just
I agree with that.
calm the hell down and let's just meander our way from one place to
Yeah.
the other, and then everybody's fine. We're
Yeah.
all good.
Absolutely. My wife and I had that discussion a couple of years ago because we're on the beach, right? And she's reading a book, and we're all like, "Hey, you need to be in the moment." And so we were messing with her. We're like, "Get off your book," But that's how she was relaxing, and we get it, right?
Yeah.
So we didn't mess with her. So then we were all day at the beach, and then we go back to the hotel, and I'm like, I don't feel like doing shit. And so we go out to dinner, and then we come back pretty early, and I was like, look, I'm just gonna veg out and watch this crap right here. It's already late. She's like, you know what? She got kind of upset with me. She's like, we need to go do something. I was like, no, we don't. We don't have to do anything. And then so the next day, after it all, she's like, you know what? I apologize for yesterday. I understand that this is your vacation also, because she has a list of things that she wants to do in her head, and I'm like, I don't want to do none of that shit. You know what I'm saying?
You're doing
So,
it just to help her.
So we had that conversation where it's like, this is my vacation too, and this is what I want to do. We did what you wanted to do all day. This is what I want to do right now.
Yeah.
And so you got to have that conversation
Which
too.
I think is important,
Yes.
right? Because every time we would when we go to even the beach, you're at
Yeah.
the beach, we take some drink, you take
beach.
some snacks, right? You do that sort of stuff. We take a book, which was always wishful thinking, because then you're so busy watching.
Not
the
my
kids and
kids,
what they're doing.
dog. My daughter reads like a motherfucker.
But when we were I think one of the last times we were at the beach and Victoria took it, I was like, you take your book, and just so that one of us can actually see this through, take your book, you focus on that. I got the kids.
Yeah.
And then I watch the kids. And then she actually gets to do what we intended to do.
Absolutely.
And then the following day, she was like, let me return that favor. I got the kids. You do what you want to do. So I drank bourbon and had a cigar.
Yeah. I was like, just
Yep.
smoking a cigar all
and
day.
it's great to split
Yeah.
it up like that and not have to focus on all the things at all times. So
Absolutely.
Wait.
Wait till they're older, dog. I didn't worry about them. I was like, Joaquin, go get us some more beer. I was like,
Yeah,
I'm
like,
running
that's
out.
right. Yes.
Vacation with Rusty and
And Audrey.
this stuff is great
They're
when
over
you
there
don't-
getting all this.
When
into
they
all this
get
stuff.
old enough, and you can send them back, right? Like just go.
When Joaquin got old enough where it's like, hey, I don't know, where are you going? Help me load the freaking vehicle. Come on now.
Yeah.
And then when we get there, it's like, no.
Yeah.
Start grabbing some of this shit too, bro. And so when he started doing it, I was like, man, this is the life right here.
This last trip when we were in Florida, the condo that we stayed in was attached to the beach,
Nice.
which was great because then at that point, like my
walk
son,
out.
it's like go back up to the room, go get this, and come back down.
Absolutely.
And that was awesome.
Yeah, I know Isaiah for the last at least 3 years when we've gone on vacation. He'll go up to like the room and just chill, and I stay at the bar at the hotel or wherever we're staying at, and just kind of chill out, and it works out really well.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
But I think it's about that time to come up with a board approval.
what are we gonna board approve though?
Get your ass on vacation.
Vacation
Choose
and-
your
If
pace.
you go to the beach.
and vacation hard.
Vacation easy. All right. So board approved. Take vacations, man. Honestly, that's what we tell our employees. Take some time off. And don't do anything or do whatever. Like if you want to be like David and
Do what makes you happy.
do what makes you happy, like role models. Board approved. There you go. Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed this episode and you'd like to help support the podcast, please share it with others, post about it on your social media, and or leave a rating and review. To catch all the latest from us, you can follow us on Instagram and X. So thanks again, and we'll see you next time.